So, I heard you're looking for a go-to source for entertainment.
Wait for it.
Gaming?
Wait for it.
Anime?
Plus Ultra!
Mr. Eric Almighty and Phil the Filipino? Yeah, they've got you covered. And all you gotta do is... wait for it. This is the Wait For It podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wait For It podcast. I am your co-host, Phil Barrera, aka Phil the Filipino.
And I'm your other co-host, Mr. Eric Almighty. And as we try to do every single month, and so far, Phil, we've done a full year coming back to this series, we tried to cover the past month in pop culture news and beyond. Very excited to welcome everybody back to this edition of What Did I Miss?
Yeah, full year. There was 1 month where, unfortunately, guests just fell through. Things happen. People have lives. It is what it is. But we are finishing the year strong here with What Did I Miss? And they're going to talk about, even though, it is the holidays and you think that, pop culture takes a break, it does not. So we have plenty to discuss here this evening, Eric, with our guest. One returning, of course, from last month, the OG when it comes to What Did I Miss? But also one of our favorites and coincidentally the third co-host of the end of year awards. So we had to bring him back. Oh, I guess I'm introducing you. Okay.
So sorry about that.
Did you know... So, Kory, when you saw the categories, did you know you were only supposed to select 2? And just
So
you didn't?
Yeah, he probably did. And I didn't see it. So, as soon as I saw the list, my mind was like, okay. I, copy-pasted the list and then, filled it out while doing stuff. But I, as I did tell him the other day, what's the point of clarifying if I'm just going to ignore it?
I literally, when I went to go crop up everybody's clips, I was like, why is Kory 6 minutes? He talked 3 minutes about 2 categories, 3 minutes each. I'm like, nope. I mean, granted, they were all spaced out perfectly, so it's not like
great,
it was difficult for me to edit. I was just like, why is there so many?
And then it would be something. Then it would be something like, well, I only did or watched this one thing, so that's my pick.
Yeah, game of the year. I only played one new game in 2024.
Well, like I said, it made me feel bad because it's like, all right, yeah, 2024. Okay, I did a lot in 2024, and then you start looking back, and it's like, no, that released in 2023. That released in 2023. That released. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, lots of old stuff. Well, like I mentioned, we're bringing back our guest from November who did follow the rules when it came to the end of the year awards. Philline, how are you doing? And how was your holiday?
I'm doing good. My holidays were okay. Had a little issue at the movie theater, but it's fine. We're over it now. Don't want to talk about it. But I did have a really hard time picking which ones I wanted to do this year since we were only limited to 2. So I
should have just gone with all 6.
I know, I should have.
Just be a
How
rebel.
long did that take you, though, to choose all of them?
Well,
he only
2
had
of them
one
were
game.
very easy.
Yeah, he only had one game. And I think he only had one animated film
One
to choose
animated
from.
movie, yeah. I looked at the whole list through the entire year, and it's like, man, I haven't seen anything.
God, but thank you both, since you're both here, for your submissions for the end of the year awards. I was up until 3 a.m. yesterday, finishing that up as far as the editing goes, and that was with even doing some of the legwork on Christmas Day, so it just took me forever. We had 24 clips, for those of you that, if you're curious, to go through. By far the most that we've ever had, which is a good thing. So it was a whole lot of fun. But Eric, we're here to talk about the month of December, and I'm sure, hopefully there's not too much crossover, but I'm sure there'll be plenty for us to talk about.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's going to be a good episode, despite the fact that the holidays were around. There was a lot of other things to focus on. And I think as we look back, there's going to be a lot of news that is going to be interesting, especially going into 2025. So this is going to be a nice precursor to the Foresight and Predictions episode that will be coming right around the corner as well.
Yep, can't wait to edit that one too. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. But guys, let's go ahead and jump into what I missed. For those of you that are brand new to the podcast and click on what did I miss for the first ever episode that you either watch or listen to here at the Wait For It podcast. That is a choice, but one that you have decided to make, and that's totally fine. We do suggest, we do play a game at the end of the episode, and we always suggest that you switch to the video version of the podcast, which is on YouTube. However, for the rest of this, you can probably stick with audio only. And we also have the star of What Did I Miss with every single episode, and Eric's favorite part of this, as this is his responsibility to to handle. So Eric, I'll hand it off to you. The last one of 2024. What's going on here for maybe those of us that are uninitiated?
Yeah, so no, our guest should know this very, very well. So I'm going to give you the skinny. It's very simple. It's a wheel. We're going to spin it, and it's going to decide who's going to go and in what order. We're going to do that 4 times. You heard me correctly, 4 times. Do we have to do it once, let alone 4 times? No, we don't. But we're going to do that because Chaos is our middle name. Philline and Kory, I've got you guys ready to go. We're going to count down. 3, 2, 1. Spin that wheel. You guys ready?
Yes.
No.
Ready? Okay. All right. Good. 3, 2, 1.
Spin
that
Wheel.
All right. That wasn't too bad.
That's pretty good. Pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Wasn't too shabby.
All right. Well, there you go. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh.
I thought I was going to spin back around to you. I thought you were going
That's
to be
crazy.
like, "Oh, Eric will be fine."
I'm going to be last this time. I know it.
Definitely going to go last, since you were the one most worried about other people taking your stories. All right, Philline, on your fancy new equipment and your fancy new setup that you got over there, you are first. What horror story do you have for Eric to not have anything to say about?
I avoided horror this time, Eric. You're welcome, by the way. I decided, based off of my Bluey shirts, Bluey creators have announced that a full-length movie is coming for the beloved series. Along with horror, I also very much love Disney, and I very much love Bluey. So I'm very excited for this film. They announced that the first ever animated feature film for Bluey will land in theaters in 2027. BBC Studios and the Walt Disney Company announced. According to a press release, the movie will continue the adventures of Bluey, a lovable, inexhaustible blue heeler dog who lives with her mom, dad, and her little sister Bingo. And I just want to talk about that because I'm just very excited for this. That is like my show when I'm feeling really sad, which 2024 was really hard. So that was a very big show for me this year. The last episode of what we thought the series finale was going to be was completely wrecked me. It was beautiful. It's a cute ending. They have been teasing us with these mini episodes that just don't do it enough. I need the full length episodes. I need more Muffin. I need more Bingo. I need the chaos. So just wanted to see how you guys felt about it. Are you guys excited? Are you guys Bluey fans? What are you guys thinking?
Eric, I want to throw this to you since you're the only one with a Bluey-aged child in the household. Even though I'm pretty sure we all take in some Bluey from time to time. So
I was about to say, you don't have to be any age.
No,
Every
definitely
age
not.
can enjoy
Definitely
Bluey.
not. I'll be seated.
Yeah, no, Bluey was great. You know, Phil, looking back on it now, with the episodes that came out this year, Bluey could have easily won the TV award for best TV show in 2024. It's, you know, hot take. It is what it is. There's been some really great quality television from this particular series. And obviously kids and adults alike are being swept into it, but I really do think that there is a lot of potential here for a movie. And I think people are going to go absolutely crazy. And I think people are looking forward to it because there's really no sense of how long the show is going to continue for. it's kind of a hiatus going on right now. A little bit of mystery surrounding when it will return, what it will look like. So yeah, Philline mentioned some of those teases that have been happening, those mini-sodes. They've been a lot of fun, but I think a movie gives a lot of people what they're looking for as far as content to chew on, because they cannot get enough of Bluey, and neither can I.
Yeah, it's I can't remember like the first time I came across Bluey, but in between like the humor and obviously the the in-depth stories for the parents that are in there as well, and then there's also the, I don't know if it's true or not, but they say that Bluey is colored specifically so that dogs can also watch it. I don't know if that's true, but I would like to believe that it is true. But yeah, Kory, do you have any Bluey in your life? And if not, you should probably get some.
So I've only seen like clips of it here and there. I do really want to watch it because the stuff I've seen is absolutely adorable. It seems like it's just a very, I don't know, genuine show. But then I know tons of people with kids that absolutely love it. And then I have one friend, an Australian friend, no kids, absolutely loves it. And it's like Bluey's her hero. So it's so funny having this, millennial that has no kids talking just as much, love about Bluey with the people who watch it because they have kids. So it's like, yeah, I gotta put that on someday. Maybe I'll make that like my New Year's resolution.
Yeah, it is a good show. And also, since each episode, and correct me if I'm wrong about this, Philline and Eric, each episode is pretty short, right? Like there's like, it's kind of like old school cartoons where it's 2 10 to 12 minute episodes, if I recall correctly. Yeah, so really exactly. Easy to watch. Yeah, I did see a meme recently, and it was like every generation a blue dog comes around and helps people. The first one for like old heads is Huckleberry Hound, and then it's Blue from Blue's Clues, and then now we have Bluey. I think Snoop Dogg was also thrown in there just as a dog in general, but overall, yeah, Bluey is for everybody. So it is great to see that they're going to be hitting the big screen, which I think was only a natural progression for the character. So very, very excited about that, and a good place to start. So Eric, and I hope you didn't have to delete a Bluey story from your list. Hopefully you're still solid there. But yeah. All right, let's get to back here. Eric,
All right.
take it away, buddy.
All right, Philline and Kory, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go for it. I'm gonna count us down, 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna say spin that wheel. 3, 2, 1.
Spin that wheel.
All right,
Look at us go. Look at us go.
Look at us. Who knew?
Oh. It's definitely gonna be Eric. Eric's definitely.
I already knew it. No, I already knew.
Eric is absolutely
It's fine.
going last.
Fucking fine.
All right, and I have a feeling that probably my story is one of yours, so we're not gonna be. I'm not gonna, or I am gonna take a lot of pleasure in this. So, the Mummy movie is confirmed for a 2026 return, coming from the Evil Dead Rise director. This is Lee Cronin, writer and director of 2023's Evil Dead Rise, is on board to write and direct this new take for horror film specialist Blumhouse Productions. Quote, "This will be unlike any Mummy movie you ever laid eyeballs on before," Cronin told The Hollywood Reporter. "I'm digging deep into the earth to raise something very ancient and very frightening." In a tweet, Cronin also teased that the new Mummy movie will be, quote, "terrifying." Obviously, the Mummy movies began life all the way back in the 1930s, and then we also had the famously played Brendan Fraser Mummy films, and then I believe Tom Cruise was in one. We won't have to talk about that one. Obviously, Evil Dead Rise was very, very heavily panned in terms of reviews, and this is due out in April of 2026. So let's throw it to Philline. I actually took the horror story here this month, but in terms of the Mummy, you saw the Mummy for the first time in 2024, the Brendan Fraser Mummy, which is crazy. Obviously, they've been trying to set up this Universal tried to set up their universe with The Mummy. That obviously failed. But with Blumhouse being involved, is this something that you're excited about and a little bit more optimistic than, when we tried to make this thing the MCU?
No, that's very exciting that Blumhouse would be doing it. I think they are really good at horror. I love a lot of Blumhouse films. Now that I'm sitting here stewing about it, we have to make Bill Skarsgård the Mummy because he is phenomenal at changing his face. And Eric has been the only one that watched Nosferatu, even though he wasn't a fan. He would be amazing in The Mummy. So I will only watch The Mummy if Bill Skarsgård is in it. So hear me right now. Bill Skarsgård, please be in The Mummy. But no, I am very excited for it. That looks good. I still need to watch Mummy 2, which I know you guys have said that is the best one out of the franchise, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that what we said? Who said
Isn't that what you guys
The
said?
Mummy Returns? Is
Yeah.
The Mummy
Mummy
Returns my
Returns?
favorite one?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I think the first one's my favorite.
Oh,
I love
okay.
Mummy Returns, but yeah, the first one's the best
The
one.
Mummy Returns is hated on way more than it should be.
Oh,
Yeah, because of the
Okay.
kid.
okay.
Spoilers. It's not really a spoiler. He's like in the very beginning of the movie, so it's not that big of a spoiler. Kory, what about you? What do you think about this news in terms of the Mummy franchise and also, again, Cronin and Blumhouse being involved?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a much better direction. Universal was clearly making a lot of terrible decisions, especially the part at the end of whatever the first movie was where they got Samuel L. Jackson to talk about a group of people that he was assembling, and then you just knew that it wasn't going anywhere good. No, I like The Mummy. Like, I've seen the original Boris Karloff Mummy. Boris Karloff, I'm pretty sure, also played the Mummy in Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. The Mummy, it's one of those characters that, like, there can be so much to it, but it's generally not done well. But I think Blumhouse can actually do a good job. You're talking about like a horror company, and like, when was the Mummy is a Universal monster, but when was the last time Universal really did horror? And now Blumhouse has like the market on that. So I think this will be good. Getting a director that was part of the Evil Dead franchise, I think, will be good. It sounds like they want to try to keep it very horror centric. I will be interested in, coming off of Evil Dead, if they're going to do any little bit of comedy, like throw something in there, try to find a way to blend that. That can be done very well, but no, I'm looking forward to it. I don't think I'd heard about this. I'm pretty sure this is the first time I'm hearing this, so I look forward to it. I love the OG Universal monsters, and they have not been done justice probably since the 1930s.
You heard it here first. Kory wants the Mummy to be funny. Bring in James Gunn. That's what he wants.
Yep, exactly.
Or
put it in
Taika
the
Waititi.
Gunniverse. Oh, Jesus.
Eric, so my question is, because Kory brought up a lot of good points in terms of, the horror side of this and the Mummy as a character. Can the Mummy, Cronin is saying it's going to be terrifying in an age where we have so many really great modern day monsters and people are expecting more and it's harder to scare people. Is a Mummy film still plausibly scary in, what will be 2026 when this comes out?
It definitely could be. I think there's some potential here. I mean, it looks like Blumhouse is the one that is going to be taking on the classic monsters for the most part. I mean, you got the Invisible Man, the upcoming Wolf Man, now the Mummy. So there seems to be a trend here, and they obviously are involved in a lot of films. Some are hit or miss, from what I understand. Again, not being an expert in the genre. But I also know they had a part to play in like the Five Nights at Freddy's movies. So those bigger IPs and the experience they have there, I think could work. Am I interested? Not really. It's not just because of the Tom Cruise movie that came afterwards, but we're going back to like the third Mummy is not very good with Brendan Fraser. That's the one with Jet Li in it. Then you had the Tom Cruise one. Now we're having another. Like, they're going to have to do a lot to really bring me back into that franchise. And I just don't know that we're gonna get what I want out of this.
And just to be clear, this is the Mummy as in the Brendan Fraser, or is it the Mummy the character?
All it says here, it just says on board to direct this new take for horror film specialist Blumhouse Productions.
Okay, because if they're also doing like werewolf and other stuff, that means this is probably not the Brendan Fraser Mummy
Probably not.
universe.
No, I don't
It's
think
going
so.
to be the original Universal. So, it's like apples to oranges there, unless in a month or two that they're like, yeah, Brendan Fraser starring in the upcoming
starring in-
Blumhouse Mummy production.
Well, but
Right.
then that even proves my point more, because like the 1930s version, I had no relation to that. The Brendan Fraser version's the one I know, and then the Tom Cruise one, I mean, I didn't have to go see that to know it was going to be shit. So that's, they tried the Dark Universe thing, and that fell flat on its face. I feel like it should have been given a real shot, to divert off the topic a little bit, but again, I just don't know that there's much here. And same thing, like even with Evil Dead, that's always a franchise I've heard of and heard good things of, but I've never really dived into. So for me personally, I don't have much of a connection. And I think with general audiences, there won't be one unless they really have like a really impressive trailer. It's a much different tone than anything we've seen before. Can Blumhouse be the one that delivers that? I don't know.
I also wonder, because the new Epic Universe will also have the Dark Universe section of their park. So that includes Wolfman, Frankenstein, the Mummy, and I can't remember what the last character is. So I wonder if it's just strictly just promotion for...
Is there an Invisible Man section in the Epic Universe? There's just like footsteps. walking around.
There's no park. There's nothing there. It's just a giant empty section.
Where's Nosferatu?
Yeah, it's just a fogged up bathroom. That's
I think it is vampire. Thanks, Eric. Vampire is the last
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Oh,
no, it's
vampire,
great. Just
yeah.
Yeah,
random
so-
vampire groping all the women in the theme park. That's what Nosferatu was.
No, stop it. Also, it sounds like with Megan having a universe, it's just going to be thrown into Megan. It's going to be Mummy, Megan, like, team up. The three kids.
See, this is what we have to deal with. This is
the second most successful film universe going right now. Actually, third behind. So it's Monsterverse, Poonaverse, and then Meganverse. So that's how things go. We'll see if Gunn can bring the DCEU up there. But yeah, Mummy returning to theaters in a new iteration, 2026. Like you said, Eric, we'll see if audiences are interested in, those classic movie monsters still. But I know what I'm interested in, and that's bringing back the wheel, buddy.
well, listen. That was not one of my stories, so I feel pretty
Okay,
good
all
that
right.
that one of the two I have is gonna.
Corey,
be
do
mine.
too.
No, don't do that. don't do that.
50% chance that I've got one of them.
I will say they're both stories I'd love to talk about. Phil and me briefly talked about one the other day, so I think we're in a good spot here. Let's count it down. Let's get it over with. 3, 2, 1.
Spin that wheel.
Oh.
Look at
All
that.
right.
Eric was doing the hula over there.
Yeah, I was. I didn't know if anybody saw that. God damn it! It's just the principle.
It's the principle of the thing.
All right, Corey. What did we miss in December 2024?
Oh my god, and you've only just missed it by days. This is the newest thing. When was the last time you saw a piece of definite fan art that turns out to be a real thing? So DC has announced the... Hold on, let me make sure I get the name right. Oh, yeah, okay. In March of 2025, DC is going to release the one-shot of Harley Quinn Fartacular, Silent But Deadly, but with 2 T's, #1. This is going to be... God, there's so much to this that's going on right now. Hold on, because it's a rub and smell comic. So it will have sense to it. They can't use the term scratch and sniff because it's trademarked. Today I learned. So it's a rub and smell, which don't go saying that around schoolyards. But DC's official description of this is, I've been holding in all my very worst bits of bubble guts for the last 32 years, and it's all been leading up to this epic expulsion. Your nose will never be the same. You'll gag, you'll cry, you'll feel things you ain't never felt before. This fine publication is a celebration of all things past, present, and future. Sequential art's place in the annals of history is about to change with the release of Harley Quinn Fartacular Silent But Deadly, a comic that promises to have the highest concentration of gas per page ever committed to print. Emphasis on committed, because everyone who worked on this comic is getting thrown into Dr. Fartley's home for no good gassy gals. So this is going to exist. Apparently Harley Quinn had a rub and smell comic like 2014, 2015. Yeah, 2014. And it was leather, suntan lotion, pizza, and weed were the scents for that one. So DC's really digging hard into what I feel like are like the weirder sections of my childhood, with like Ren and Stimpy and Cow and Chicken. And, you know, a lot of people are obviously upset about this, but it's like, man, you find me a decade that didn't have fart humor in an extremely popular cartoon. Yeah. So what do you guys think about this new venture? I mean, it's bound to be part of the Gunniverse at some point.
He's writing it in right now, actually.
Maybe we could kick things off with what the fuck, Kory? What the fuck is this story?
Let's get Margot Robbie back.
Bring her back.
Okay, well, that's a one shot then. I might. Oh, no.
You've already got it on your pull list. You just added it. Gotham City Limits in Jacksonville. They'll have plenty of copies. You'll probably get a Tyler Kirkland.
Deadly 2 audience, so 2 T's on that butt.
Yeah, 2 T's with the butt.
Yes.
Yeah, I just learned about it. It's seriously, it's one of those that, like, I'm browsing the internet and I see the art and I'm like, this is fucking weird fan art. You know, whatever. I've seen worse, and then I click on it and it's like, no,
you know what?
Way.
For context, Kory wasn't supposed to be here with us for this episode. He had about an hour and a half to prepare, so I'm gonna let him
give the disclaimer.
No, I do though, because like, there's no way people could think he had all month to come up with the story.
Okay,
and this is the one he picked. So I'm gonna give him kudos on that. This is one nobody was gonna pick.
It's the most detailed of anything that I have. I was like, I could see one of y'all picking this.
No, no.
Man, boy, did I luck out.
If I come across it, there's a chance that I
there's
would
a chance.
Have. Oh yeah,
read
absolutely.
the comic that Abraham Lincoln called a joy from fart to finish, moments before he died.
Abraham Lincoln.
Oh boy, it seems just unhinged enough that I might have to get it, because it's like, you know,
I feel like it'd be a cool collector's item. I'm not even gonna lie.
Don't open it though.
No,
like,
no,
don't let the scent go to waste.
No, you got to keep it.
Yeah.
Who let all the stank out?
gotta keep that stank fresh.
Philline, what this is telling me is that now I should go get that Game Sense that they were selling a few months back. You guys remember that?
No, because I immediately thought, when you guys were talking about making it into a movie, I was thinking about the D-Box seats.
Oh, there you go. Oh, man. It sells itself.
It just incorporates smell now.
That would still it would still pull in more money than the Harley Quinn solo film did somehow.
It's true.
It would still pull in more money than any Sony hero film or villain film.
Still better than Madam Web, Craven the Hunter.
I think whoever buys that comic needs to be on some sort of
list.
Some sort of list. Yeah, if we could also get your driver's license, please. We need to document this information.
Driver's license, social security number.
But hey, man, I mean, listen, kudos for being something that people are talking about, obviously. So I like I said, I think it'd be a funny collector's item to have. And I'll pre-order one for you, Eric. I got you, buddy. I can see that you're really very much interested in this. So
You'll know when it arrives. You'll be able to smell it.
yeah, that's true. Oh no, my comic book opened up.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, Eric,
Yeah.
we got one more in 2024. This is it, man.
Man.
One more wheel. We didn't do the wheel when it was just the two of us, I don't think, right? I think that's the only month it was just I think we just read off a bunch of stories.
It was a sad month. So yeah, no, we'll do it one more time to end the year, which is great. We're gonna count down 3, 2, 1.
Spin
that
wheel.
Oh.
Look at that, finishing strong.
All
It'll
right.
be Red Eric or Blue Eric.
I should have re-added our names.
I probably should have put my 2 stories on the line here, but no, here we are. All right.
It's Eric. All right,
yeah,
Eric.
so-
Which fart-related story did you come across in December?
You know, surprisingly, not as many as I thought. I'm going to go with the one that I kind of have to because of the name of the podcast, relevant. It's been a minute since we've gotten to talk about Hamilton, and I'll save my other for didn't make the cut for anybody that is into what that story will be about. So, with the success of Wicked, obviously, you can expect there to be a lot of talk about musicals and future films, and who better to ask than Lin-Manuel Miranda himself about a Hamilton film. So he's been asked already, and this is according to Variety, has been asked about doing a Hamilton movie. He said, "I've always said I'm open to it if I hear a director with a great take." Of course, he's obviously doing interviews for his work on Mufasa, The Lion King, instead of Moana 2. Very, very sad. Phil, can I get a chee-hoo? No, it's okay. Just hold that thought. But I'm just very curious what people think about this. Obviously, we are very tied into Hamilton. The name of the podcast is based off of a song, my favorite song off of the soundtrack. So very curious what our thoughts are. Phil, kind of going to you as the co-host of the Wait For It podcast. And what are the thoughts? Because you also saw Wicked, and while it wasn't necessarily your cup of tea, I know there are at least 2 people here who really enjoyed it, and I feel like they could replicate that success with a show as big as Hamilton.
Yeah, I think so as well. And you know, I've never looked at the numbers, but I'm pretty sure like In the Heights did decent on its end. So I mean, if you're Lin-Manuel Miranda and you look at how much money Wicked is being in, hell yeah, you're gonna be like, yeah, someone give me a call. I would do the exact same thing. I think there is definitely a lot they could fill in terms of a movie as well. But I don't know. I mean, also the purist in me like wants this to kind of just live on Broadway and in the Richard Hamilton Theater forever. And we have the Disney Plus version of it, obviously, which is, you know, the way to see it with the original cast. And if this never happens, I'll be totally fine. But now that, you know, Wicked has kind of like kicked in this door and shown that audiences will come out in droves to see this, then, you know, I think it maybe could be an inevitability, especially since, you know, we can't come up with anything original either. Then why not? I just don't know how. Well, obviously it would be very easy to split this into 2 parts as well. We know exactly where it would end, and then, you know, print money. I guess the thing with that is like, there is a very distinct part of the internet that really hates Lin-Manuel's style. So, like, is that going to deter people from going to see, you know, one of the original founders of this country rap for an hour and a half? So we'll see. They'd have to cast the right people for sure as well. So, like, who would that be? We could have that discussion in a moment. But yeah, Philline, do you want to see a Hamilton style Wicked movie or Wicked style Hamilton movie? There you go.
I would say no, only because with Wicked, with In the Heights, and even though we weren't a fan of Dear Evan Hansen, the difference between those musicals is that there is a storyline in the background. Like, there is dialogue, there is like there's a script in between, whereas
There's substance.
whereas Hamilton, it's strictly just music for throughout the whole entire thing. There's like Hamilton, and they're not really speaking in the middle. It really is just a musical through and through. So that would be my only reason of not wanting to see it. If he were to do it, I think it can only be in the hands now of John M. Chu. I think he has had the success of two. Oh, okay. We're having a not against. But I mean, he has had the success of two films at this point. Obviously, Dear Evan Hansen did not do well. Mean Girls, in my opinion, wasn't true to the story of the Broadway. And John M. Chu took Wicked and took a musical that was very popular, is my favorite musical, and did not change the substance of it at all. And with Hamilton, I feel like you would have to, but with Alexander Hamilton, like, how do you add to his story? Like, what, people find out that he actually did own slaves? Like, there's like things about the actual story of Hamilton that people aren't ready to hear and aren't ready to see, or they do know it and they're just ignoring it because the musical is so phenomenal. So I just don't think it would work.
Yeah, I can say right now I don't want more Thomas Jefferson. We are good there. Kory, do you have any relationship with the musical Hamilton? Have you ever listened to it? You know, obviously it was everywhere for a good time being, and again, with the success of Wicked, Hamilton, you know, movie production seems like almost an inevitability.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised that this wasn't already made into a movie version. Though that probably would have been the absolute worst decision to make a movie at the moment of its popularity. But I do agree. I don't think it would be. So I'm not one. I've not watched it, but I couldn't get away from the music. I know a lot of people who listen to musicals, so I've definitely heard it. I am one of those that I generally don't like Lin-Manuel Miranda's style because every song sounds the same. And even I think it was in y'all's Discord, I mentioned that if you listen to the deluxe edition or extended edition of the Moana soundtrack, when you hear the Lin-Manuel Miranda, the original versions of the songs, you cannot distinguish them from a Hamilton song. So someone else had to come in and like Disney-fy it and put that magic in there that, you know, everyone fell in love with, and like including myself. But if it's just singing, then it's like, just go see the musical. It's already airing on TV, you know, I think, is it Disney? It's airing somewhere, streaming. You can go watch it. But it is rough. Like, musicals I have a lot of beef with because a lot of them, it feels like they're, you know, breaking the backbone of the film structure to like make the songs work. Where it's like, okay, we're going to ignore all of the talking parts. We're not going to put a lot of effort into that. We're going to just find a way to get to the next song. And the music can be great, but the movie can suffer. And there's only a couple of musical movies out there that also have like an amazing story in between the singing. Like Moulin Rouge, and I think I think there was like one, Chicago. There's a couple of out there that are just stellar, and then there's a bunch that it's like, you know, it's made for Broadway. Just leave it up there. You know, if you can't find a way to add a little more to it, and like you said, like, what are we just going to tell people that he also owned slaves? Like, how deep do we go into history here to pull some more content into this? Like, Wicked only had 14 books or something to pull some story from, you know, for Wizard of Oz. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that it is happening. Or that it might happen. I wouldn't look forward to it, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Eric, is like, it feels like we are past the point in pop culture where people want to see Lin-Manuel Miranda front and center. I think we're still very much, well, not we, but like, I think a lot of people are still very much fine with him being in the background, working on Mufasa, working on, you know, Moana, the original Moana, and then popping up every now and then. But in terms of like putting him in a feature film, because I think in terms of the hardcore fan base, they're not going to want to see anyone else playing Hamilton. So you got to keep him. I guess that's one of the good things is like if you did cast the movie, you could keep most of the people. Leslie Odom Jr. is in films. Anthony Ramos is in films. So you could keep a lot of those people front and center. But I think, again, I think society has kind of moved on from wanting to see Lin-Manuel Miranda's face. Obviously, we're big fans of him. But when I rewatched House and I forgot that he is in House when House goes to the the insane asylum for a little bit and raps in the show, I'm like, oh man, this is terrible. So I don't know that people are gonna want to see Lin-Manuel Miranda in a feature film in 2027 or whenever this theoretically would come out, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean that's fair criticism. I think we're underestimating how much people like Hamilton, because I think people would still flock to theaters to see it. I think what I would want to see is the CGI disaster of Anthony Ramos as Philip Hamilton.
Oh yeah, no, you cannot cast a child. You still need to have an adult play a 12-year-old.
He's just gotta have a little small body, but Anthony Ramos head. So I just want to see that, honestly. That's
they
where
did
we're
with
at.
Ben Platt and
Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah, anything would be better than that. So they're already a head start ahead of that film. So I think it could work, but I also understand the conversation on the other side, and that's why I thought it'd be a good story for us to talk about.
Yeah, I missed this too, so I didn't see any report of this. Let's cast Hamilton here really quick, guys. Even as we this article just has Lynn as Hamilton, and then Leslie Odom Jr. still as Aaron Burr. Would we change any of those? Anybody here you're gonna slide Lin-Manuel or into, or take Lin-Manuel out and put somebody in for Hamilton?
Where does Glenn Powell go?
Oh yeah, there we go. He'll play Hamilton.
Yeah,
Glenn Powell as
Done.
Hamilton. Perfect. Never mind. Yeah, I absolutely want this. Actually, I changed my mind. Still Aaron Burr for Leslie Odom Jr. Still with Aaron Burr, which I'm totally fine with. Forrest Whitaker in for George Washington.
no,
no, what?
Okay. David Diggs sticking with Lafayette, which I'm also fine with. Michael B. Jordan for Thomas Jefferson.
No.
Yeah.
No, what?
You have David Diggs right there. You can go get Christopher Jackson. What? No, see, this is the problem.
I agree.
This is the problem. You
Nicholas
gotta recast
Holtz
everybody.
for King George.
Okay, that
we're
might
on
work.
the we're on the
okay,
Harry
wait,
scale
hold
with
on.
that land Nicholas Holt.
Wait,
between.
so are we saying like there won't be rapping in this? It's just gonna be the story?
No, it would have to be a musical. No, it would definitely have to be a musical. Can Nicholas Holt sing? Most of these actors and actresses can
That's
sing.
true.
So
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but who are you gonna get Kendrick Lamar in to sing "They Not Like Us"?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
100%.
I think it's gotta happen.
Where's Jordan
They'll
Fisher
be singing about
in
the
this?
British.
Yeah, Jordan Fisher. No, Jordan Fisher
Okay,
isn't
where do you
in
put Jordan
mainstream
Fisher?
stuff. He's just on. He's on Broadway. Zendaya in for Eliza Hamilton. I think people just want Zendaya and stuff. Kiki Palmer in for Angelica Schuyler. I don't know who that is.
I would switch the two.
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
I would switch Zendaya as Angelica and
Kiki Palmer as Eliza. Yeah, that could work. This is relatively new news, so there aren't a whole lot of fan cast out. But
and then we have to
those
make
are some
Blue
of the
Ivy
names.
as
Oh yeah, we got to
as
put
Peggy.
Blue Ivy in it. Beyonce,
Yeah.
actually, just the cast of The Lion King. Will be on
Oh,
stage.
I'm okay with
Donald
the guy
Glover.
that plays Mufasa in this movie.
Aaron Pierre.
Okay,
You're
thank
gonna
you.
have to, you're gonna have to learn his
Oh,
name.
you know what? He was on
You're
this
too
list.
obsessed with him to not know who he is. Please.
No, he was
Just show-
on here.
Please, yeah, he
He
should
was on.
be.
Oh no, never mind. Never mind. Brian Tyree Henry is James Madison.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, again, I'm sure we'll get more of these articles as we get closer to this movie.
Donald
I think,
Glover.
actually happening. Yeah, Donald Glover. Who else is in The Lion King? Seth Rogen, Billy Eichner.
Oh my god.
All of those
Billy
guys.
Eichner can be the guy in
Farmer Refuted.
Farmer Refuted. Yeah, you knew it. You knew it because that's like my favorite song.
Yeah, that's absurd. Anyway,
You get so mad every time I bring up Farmer
it's
Refuted.
absolutely absurd. All right, guys. Did we have any stories that just barely made or missed the cut? I have a couple here. Philline, I'll throw it to you first. Did you have any that you almost selected before going with the one you did pick?
It wasn't so much a story, but just kind of just like a conversation. Just seeing a lot of movies be re-released during this holiday, like Terrifier 3 got released in theaters for the holidays. Wicked got their sing-along re-release. We just recently watched... I just forgot the name of the movie. What did we...
Nosferatu?
No, what did we watch? The space movie.
Interstellar.
That's wild. We saw that in IMAX. It was
Yeah,
just like a
yeah,
normal
but we
showing.
saw it in the, and we're gonna take a quick detour here. We saw it in like the Kmart version of an IMAX.
Of
like
an
the,
IMAX, yeah.
The IMAX we went to was terrible. Like the seats were awful. The one over off by Regency Mall, Corey. That's the one we went to. That IMAX theater.
What,
is
like
awful.
the AMC that's
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. They had the old school theater seats. I guess they wanted you to have like a 1996 experience.
That's that vintage experience.
Like put you in actual interstellar timeline is what they're wanting to do.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you forgetting
Anyways,
the title of that's
sorry.
crazy.
The space movie. Andy
I
Weir's
got
The
it.
Martian, obviously.
Anyway, continue, Philline.
Anyways, so what movies like in 2025 are you wanting to like get re-released for you to guys to see on a big screen that you maybe didn't get to see ever?
Oh, good question. Corey, you go first.
Oh man, re-released in theater. I don't know if I've ever seen Alien or The Thing, like I guess in their original format on screen. I think those would be cool because they're pretty spectacular. And actually, come to think of it, I don't even know if I've ever seen like a Jurassic Park theatrical re-release, because that is one hell of a spectacle. Yeah, I don't know, like horror adjacent, because I feel like a lot of those are spectacles. I feel like I've seen Blade Runner in theater, like the original released in theater. You know, I don't know if you guys covered this or not, but Akira, the 1988 animated movie, that would be dope to see on a big screen.
Yeah, we did cover it. If you probably shouldn't listen to that episode.
I'm just gonna delete that download.
You should probably not listen to that one.
We tried.
In terms of movies I haven't seen, I mean, this works out because we were just talking about it as far as my Thursday thought answer, which is what is your 2025 pop culture New Year's resolution? And mine is to watch the Lord of the Rings movies because I've never seen them. So that would be really cool to go back and see those. In terms of maybe a movie that I have seen but wished I saw it in theaters, Top Gun Maverick. That movie fucking rules, man. It rips, dude. I would love to see that movie in theaters. I think it's like, up until the other day, it was like my number one non-new movie that I watched in 2024. So that would be really, really cool. What other movies here? I think it'd be cool to see Jaws maybe in like a Cinemark XD screen in 2025, or in, whenever that would come up. And I saw someone else put this on their list, The Lighthouse. Speaking of the director from Nosferatu, but I would like to see the Lighthouse on a big giant screen and watch that weird fucking movie. Just that movie rules too. Eric, what about you?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say Top Gun Maverick for sure, because that's like the movie. You could always go back to like your Puss in Boots. Last Wish comes up every episode.
Just take a shot
gotta
if
do
you're
it.
playing the Wait For It podcast. Puss in Boots Last Wish drinking game.
You're drunk because every episode. No, that would be another good one. Obviously, Your Name is the big one that it's the big checkbox that I'm trying to check off. I do believe the Lord of the Rings trilogy did return to theaters this year. That tends to come back like Harry
Quite a
Potter
bit. Mm-hmm.
every few years. So yeah, nothing else that really kind of comes to mind, at least of stuff I've watched in the past year. Maybe Mad Max Fury Road. That'd probably be a really good experience as well. But yeah, those are just a couple that come to my mind right off the top of the dome.
Actually, I've never seen Goodfellas on a big screen because yet. I think whenever I was 2 when that came out, so I've never seen it in theaters. And then obviously Pacific Rim. I didn't see Pacific Rim in theaters, unfortunately.
What?
So yeah, I know. So I would really love to see that.
A spectacle.
And then maybe some of the movies that like have never released in theaters that we really enjoy. Like we're thinking about like newer films. Nimona, I think, would be really good in theaters. Obviously, Philline and I love Wolfwalkers more than Eric did, but I think just some of those animated films that never got a theatrical release. But yeah, I think those were some good ones. But obviously, Pacific Rim. Now that I think about it, at the top of that list, 100%. Kory, what about you? Did you have some stories that just barely missed the cut, or was it just Harley Quinn
Just
fart
the
stuff?
fartacular. No, I had one that I kind of wanted to. I thought about mentioning it instead, but there's nothing to be said other than The Witcher 4 was officially announced. Because they mentioned that they were working on a project. At this point, I can't remember what they were calling it. Project Polaris. There we go. And that's all that we got back in like 2022. But then at the Game Awards, they officially announced, they dropped a trailer. Ciri's going to be the main character, which I'm extremely hype about. Geralt's had his 3 games, and I think it's going to be really cool to see what they do with the new one. I've listened. Obviously, there's like no info out here, and no one can say anything. But the Friends Per Second podcast did an interview with 2 of the creative team for Witcher 4. And I mean, they are hyped for making the game, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do. There was obviously a lot of issues with the release of Cyberpunk 2077, and they promised that they're like, this time around they have more control over stuff, so that shouldn't be an issue. But the other thing, which I just learned, how old do you think Power Rangers is?
I'm gonna say, was it around in like the 80s? Like, is that when they originated?
So next year marks the 50th anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're releasing a new series next year. And it was just wild, like looking through different news articles from different areas, and it's like, yeah, I kind of know this because I know who the creator is, but it is so weird to think that it's like in the 90s we were just getting the Power Rangers. It was all borrowed from like early 90s or the 80s or whenever it aired in Japan, like borrowing that footage and then throwing a bunch of white kids in between clips. And yeah, it is mind-blowing. Like, what a hell of a legacy. They release like it's kind of like Ultraman. They release like a new series every single year, or maybe every other year. But to fill in 50 years that's a lot.
I'm glad you kind of brought this up because it's been popping up a lot on my like algorithm recently, but it's so kind of a bummer that the 2017 Power Rangers didn't get a shot. I know it was like kind of like critically panned as not a very good film, but I watched it in theaters, and as a really big Power Rangers fan when I was a kid, I dug that movie, man. And I think the kids had really, really good chemistry. And the only thing I really didn't like about it was Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa. That was really like the biggest thing. I didn't really have I wasn't really a big fan of her rendition of that character. But other than that, as far as the parts that matter in a Power Rangers movie, they did very well. If they're going to give it another shot in the future, we'll see. But yeah, that's crazy. Power Rangers 50 years, but yeah, man. Eric, to go back to the first story that Kory talked about, is 2025 maybe one of your hidden pop culture goals in 2025 to finally jump into The Witcher and make our buddy Andrew happy as well?
Yeah, so the pre-Patreon show when Philline was in the future on her laptop, we were figuring out, we were talking through some things like stuff we were wanting to play and do, and The Witcher came up. And I have it on my Xbox. I played only a little bit of it. I mean to get back into it because it is a game I really do want to experience because it is so renowned. It's a game that, again, it hasn't gripped me in the first like hour or two that I played it, and I just really need to get back on the saddle and give it a shot. So it's there. If it's not for the podcast, it has to get deprioritized. So because I think you'll never play The Witcher, that also factors into the pecking order. But I am hoping to definitely find a little bit more time to fit it in there.
Yeah, as far as CD Projekt Red, I have to finish Cyberpunk 2077 too. And also, like, the aesthetic of The Witcher. I have played, I think similar to Eric, like maybe an hour of The Witcher 3, and that was long enough to know that wasn't going to be my type of game. So I need to finish Cyberpunk 2077 before anything else.
I will say, Witcher 3 is one of those that it kind of sucks because it takes maybe a solid 4+ hours to like really get into it, to sort of get the feel for what it is the game's doing. Because like the first hour is you like answering questions, like doing the tutorial, and then answering Emir's questions. And if you've never played the other games, you're like, what the fuck does any of this mean? But when it really gets into it, some of the decisions that you have to make, and then the fun part is like you and Eric could play it at the same time, like start it on the same day and have the same schedule and get different experiences, because there are some missions that pop up at like certain times of day during certain parts of your gameplay. It's like a right place, right time. And, you know, it was weird talking to Brenda. Brenda beat the game like 3 times. And then when I played through it, I'd be like, oh yeah, did you get this one mission? I did this thing. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, I was like wandering around the woods like a fucking weirdo. And then this like, this thing happened. And then I just followed it. And there was a mission. And she's like, I've never seen that. So it's like wild that you can get, a different experience. But it really... The very first time you get a mission where, I don't know, you get like the trolley problem, that's when you realize what is about to happen for like the next 70 hours.
Yeah, I think there's more time to be put into the game to really see if it's your thing or not. But me and Phil have played games long enough to know, if Phil doesn't want to play something and he's made up his mind, we're gonna have a bad time. And we tried to tread through that for Sea of Thieves together. Ugh. And we were both miserable.
Yeah.
So I knew what it was
too.
like.
That made for great content, though.
Yeah, Philin was there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It was miserable though. So well, imagine that, but one-sided. Never a great thing.
Because my thing in terms of where my gaming, like my RPG gaming went, I was no to Skyrim, but I played the Mass Effect games. And now, like, I want to play, Cyberpunk 2077. I've gotten quite a bit into it, but The Witcher has not been my thing. So, like, that kind of realm just isn't necessarily my bag. But, Philin, when are you going to play The Witcher? Do you know what The Witcher is?
I have it downloaded on my gaming PC right now, actually.
Yeah, Philin's gonna finish The Witcher before Eric.
The extent I know of The Witcher is that
the show.
It was Chris Hemsworth, and then it was not Chris
Hemsworth.
Liam Hemsworth. Wow. Liam Hemsworth, and who's the
Superman.
Other guy?
Henry Cavill.
Superman.
The one that did it like 3/4 of the season.
Yeah.
He's the one people liked, right?
And then
starting with Liam Hemsworth is crazy, and I don't even watch the show. That's crazy.
Well, because I saw the big controversy on it, I was like, oh my god, it's Liam.
Starting with like the C roster.
Yeah, it's Liam.
He's a C person, so okay.
That's true. That is fair. So, Eric, I'll go next here as far as some of my didn't make the cuts. One, I was just going to talk about the new Naughty Dog game with Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. Obviously, big Naughty Dog fans with Uncharted and The Last of Us. Excited to see that this new game isn't just a remake of one of their other properties. So that will be exciting. Obviously, the internet, the lame part of the internet is up in arms, and we're not going to talk about them. But it was nice to see Naughty Dog show up at the Game Awards. And then in kind of frustrating news, I don't know if anyone else here is a fan of this show besides me, but there is a Scrubs reboot early in development at ABC from Bill Lawrence, which I'm just not excited about. I believe all the all the original cast members are in talks to return. I mean, Bill Lawrence has been on a crazy roll as far as, Ted Lasso and then Shrinking. So, like, as long as he is involved, there is a chance that this could be good. But one, Scrubs, in terms of its humor, the original show doesn't fit in a world now where, people are policing comedy more than they ever have. But also, again, as long as Bill Lawrence is at the helm, then maybe. But I just think they should skip it altogether. So those were my didn't make the cut stories, Eric.
Yeah, no, that was one of the stories I have in our kind of Discord roundup. So I'll throw a couple more to add to that. But yeah, Kory, Philline, any commentary on either of those two things, the upcoming Naughty Dog game or Scrubs? Both things that I'm more unfamiliar with.
I'm excited for the Naughty Dog game. I know that the trailer was ripped straight out of Akira, speaking of that earlier. But I do like Naughty Dog's games. The PS4 version that I bought was the Uncharted version. So that was my introduction. And it's like, holy shit, these are great games. No, well, there's literally nothing special about it other than it came preloaded with Uncharted 1 through 3 and didn't have you didn't have to pay extra. But yeah, Naughty Dog makes a wonderful game. And then oh my god, Scrubs. Yeah, I don't know, it was of its own era. That would be like trying to re-air Seinfeld, like that level of humor. And sitcoms have a place, and while they are all the same, they're also of their time. Scrubs was funny when I watched it as a kid, but when I watch it now, it's like we've come so far. There's so much more out there. I hope they don't. Would not like to see them recast all of the original cast. You're gonna get Zach Braff in there with a walker. Like, what is he gonna do? Like, these guys are also pretty old now.
No, Zach Braff, just listening to the Scrubs podcast as well, he'll die before letting someone else play that character. I had to stop listening to that podcast because I kind of got tired of hearing his voice, but I know enough about Zach Braff to know that he is not going to let anyone else play that character. So, yeah, Philline, anything to add on your end?
No, I'm not really a big fan of Scrubs, even though I know that is Peter's favorite show and you started really loving it, so it's something you guys have in common. I've expressed to you guys my dislike of I don't even know her name because that's how much I dislike her. The blonde in Scrubs.
I forgot her.
I was like, is Maggie Gyllenhaal in the show?
Sarah Chalk.
Sarah Chalk. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like her character. I don't like her personality.
Elliot.
Yeah, she is cringe. I don't, and I couldn't. With her being a main character, I couldn't get through it. So.
You didn't like Stella either, who she played in.
That's fair.
Maybe
I don't like her.
Yeah, I think it's a Sarah Chalk thing.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, Eric, you said you had a couple that were on the. Oh, and you also had the Discord roundup.
Yeah. So my didn't make the cut will kind of be the Discord roundup here because, again, holidays, I didn't really keep track of too much. So you guys really filled in the gaps nicely there. And one of these stories, the last one I'll bring up, is the second one I had in my back pocket in case someone took my main one. So the Discord roundup starts off with the snack wraps coming back in 2025. Super exciting. McDonald's, good job. Sony's Spider-Man villain spin-off universe is officially dead. And that was before Kraven the Hunter came out and was just abysmal performance, reviews, etc. Who knew? Austin Butler has been cast as Patrick Bateman in the upcoming American Psycho film, more based on the book. The Superman trailer came out. Very curious if anybody had any thoughts. I'm not a big Superman guy myself, but that trailer had something. I definitely felt it. If you cried during that trailer, I kind of get it. The Dexter series, Phil has mentioned many times, refuses to die. There will be a Trinity Killer prequel series that no one asked for. The Batman is delayed until 2027. And then finally, the story that I definitely wanted to potentially bring up, other than the story for Hamilton, was Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey has been revealed. And it is going to be set with, it's going to be shot with new IMAX technology. And funny enough, we brought up Interstellar on this episode. Interstellar is basically The Odyssey. So I kind of have an idea of what Nolan's going to bring. This all-star cast already has people thinking about who they could play. As someone who really loves Greek mythology when I was younger, and who's just finished up the Epic the Musical journey for the concept album that's been going on this past year, I can't get enough. So super excited about that. And yeah, any of those stories, Phil, kind of kicking it off with you. Snack Wrap's coming back. Spider-Man Universe is dead. Patrick Bateman, Austin Butler, Superman trailer, Trinity Killer prequels, The Batman's delayed, and Nolan's The Odyssey. What do you want to take?
Snack Wrap, good. Spin-off series for Dexter, bad. Superman trailer, good. Austin Butler, I don't really know much about him outside of Dune, and I don't know how people feel about him in general, so sure. Batman being pushed back, bad. Mickey 17 moved up, good. And I forgot Odyssey, Christopher Nolan, good, yes.
That was great, Phil. Thank you so much. Kory, any additional insight into any of those stories that came through the pop culture news of our Discord?
I'll start at the back end. My favorite part of Homer's The Odyssey was when Odysseus said, all right, all right, all right. Yeah, the Sony verse, I even commented earlier. Yeah, I'm glad it's over. And I even commented that, like, if they're going to try to sell that to, like, Marvel, they have buried all of those characters so deep that I don't think anyone could ever recover. And I mean, we're talking about, like, the Sinister Six, like the one thing that everyone has wanted since the original Raimi Spider-Man films. They've wanted to see the Sinister Six, and we've already got Kraven just buried 12 feet deep just to make sure he can't come back out. Or maybe 18, because I think it's like Morbius is 6 and Madam Web is 12, and then, Kraven is now 18 feet deep. Batman, it sucks that it got moved. I really was looking forward to that, because I think that led into the long Halloween is where we ended as far as the comics go. And that really surprised me at how smooth of a transition that was at the end of the film. And it's like, okay, I'm really hyped for some actual comic book movies. Like, we need to bring those back. The rest of it, I didn't watch the Superman trailer only because I doubt I'm going to see it in theaters. But I will say, God bless that trailer for all of the fucking Yamcha crossover art that I've seen from so many artists on Twitter. And at first I was like, oh, this is funny. And then I saw actual screenshots and I'm like, oh shit. No, these people aren't just making this up. So it's good for that.
That's fair enough. Philline, what about you? Any of those stories, stood out to you?
Maybe the only other one is the Austin Butler, American Psycho. I think that will be interesting. He has sort of the, bad boy, creepy, eerie look to him. That kind. So, that would really be my only comment.
Yeah, the only horror adjacent one that I had on there. No, yeah. I understand. It's fine. I will say Austin Butler, he's definitely done a lot of impersonations. So he's known for Elvis. Then he had that impersonation performance, which was great in Doom Part 2. So he could probably pull off a very similar thing and just be Christian Bale. So at worst, we're getting a Christian Bale impersonation, and at best, a new take on the character. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was my Discord roundup. I didn't make the cut, and yeah, that's back to you, Phil. You're on mute, Phil. Amateur. Like we haven't.
Yeah, I know. I saw that pop up. It's because I was in the middle of about sharing a window and then I exited out, and for some reason it doesn't like when I do that.
Okay.
So, for those of you that are brand new to What Did I Miss, we typically end with a game of Jeopardy. We didn't do this last month because we tried something new, and that was too stressful, so I'm not going to do that. Contestants, how is the size of the screen there? Can you guys see everything okay? Can you get to the QR code? Everything good? Okay, I made this a pretty good size on my screen, so you should be all set. So for audio-only audiences, this is where we recommend you hopping over to the YouTube page to check out because there are visuals in this in terms of Jeopardy. But for the audio-only audience, I also add, fun sound effects and all that stuff and make it fun. So we're just waiting on our contestants to join. Everybody here has played this, so you know how it works. I forgot to go back and check how many times Eric won this year. Who picked broccoli? Kory, okay.
Kory.
Kory is broccoli.
Listen, broccoli is great, okay?
I agree. I agree.
Prime broccoli. That's fair.
Did you say fried broccoli?
No, prime.
Oh, okay.
Like cooked at its best. I like this name.
Diplodocus?
Diplodocus? It's a dinosaur. We have dinosaurs in here? Okay, I want to change mine.
You got to go through them all. This is
Eric's
about.
favorite
Do they
part
have
of this
Utah
is looking
Raptor?
through all the different characters.
I don't know what Phil does for the audio only version, but for the video version, there's like a full 3 minutes of silence while I pick characters. So this is the fastest it's ever gone.
I'm pretty sure Philline has picked Lenny before because she likes the hammerhead shark. Kory, you sticking with broccoli? Are you gonna go through the dinosaurs?
I don't even know if I can change it.
Uh-oh.
We'll stick with
Do you want me
broccoli.
to-
That way,
Okay.
we've got a fish, we've got a dinosaur, we've got one of the best vegetables.
It's nice. Variety.
That is true. Okay, let me begin the game. So, I hope I don't have to explain how Jeopardy works. If you don't know how to play, I don't know what to tell you. Let me turn off. Oh, did I? Oh, actually, you guys won't be able to hear the music anyway, or all that. So we are good there. Cool. So, Philline, you won the wheel that I spun off screen, so you get to go first. Just as a reminder for Kory and Philline, Eric will sabotage and go for 1,000 first. So if you do not get to it, he will. The categories this month are stage door, happily ever laughter, in the nick of time, and then we have our returning pop culture mystery bag, which could be anything. So, Philline, you get to go first. What category would you like, and for what dollar amount?
I will go with happily ever laughter for 200.
All right. Where did Monica and Chandler from Friends first hook up, kicking off their secret relationship? Eric.
It was in a hotel in London.
What were they there for?
They were there for Ross's wedding.
All right. Eric takes control. Eric, Eric, which category would you like?
Man, what to do here? Pop culture mystery bag 1,000.
Jesus. All right. Finish this quote. In Pacific Rim, Stacker Pentecost, played by Idris Elba, famously proclaimed, "Today, we face the monsters that are at our door and bring the fight to them. Today, we are what?" Come on, Kory, don't let me down.
I know, it's like, God, I'm trying to think of it. It was such a great fucking quote, too. Oh, man.
Any guesses?
I
know
hate
it's
that I don't
tough
know
to
this.
risk $1,000, so I understand.
I stopped listening at Pacific Rim. I was like, whoops.
And I know it's simple, too.
All right. No answers?
No, I feel so bad.
It's tough.
Today, we are canceling the apocalypse.
Okay, so I was thinking, I
never-
was like, I know this is a whole
In
phrase.
The greatest rah speech
Yeah.
given in film history. Even better than the one from Independence Day, I think people have said. So that's okay. Eric, you still your board?
Yeah, no, let's go to Happily Ever Laughter for 1,000. Let's go back to what worked.
Fucking Friends.
Ben and Leslie initially kept their relationship a secret because this character, their boss, had a strict policy against workplace romances.
What is his name? Can I just say who the actor?
The actor name that's...
Damn it.
Nope. All right. Any guesses here?
I don't remember his name. I
Philline?
haven't seen this in
Don't want to
forever.
risk $1,000. Okay, Philline, go for it.
You're muted, by
You're
the
muted.
way.
I could take, yeah.
Chris Traeger.
Oh, I knew it started with a C. I wanted to say Craig, and I knew that was wrong.
Chris Traeger. All right, Philline, you're bored.
We go Happily Ever Laughter 400.
Yeah, they're in $200.
Okay.
$200 increments.
Yeah. This couple's love story began at John Adams High and spanned years into adulthood in the form of a Disney Plus spinoff about their daughter, Eric.
This boy meets world, girl meets world?
Right, but what's the name of the couple?
Oh, no. Topanga and Kory.
Okay.
Damn it.
Oh, scared me. I knew Topanga, but Kory just wasn't coming to mind.
I know,
was
it's
like-
real difficult to remember
I was
that
like,
name.
Ben?
All right. Eric, you're bored again. Philline, you can just stay off mute for this, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
you can just come off. All right. Let's do Happily Ever Laughter for 600.
This is the Daily Double. Jim and Pam's wedding took place at this famous New York location. Of course, Jim and Pam from The Office.
I'm trying to rejoin.
Uh-oh. Okay.
It's the Daily Double.
Yes. Go ahead, Eric.
This is at Niagara Falls.
Okay.
No?
I'll give you an extra 6.
Woo!
Oh, wait, that's right. It's in 2s, so hold on. All right. All right, Eric, still your board.
Yeah, no, that's it. I don't know if that category was for me, but it seems to be. So yeah, let's go for 800.
This couple adopted their first daughter, Lily, in the pilot episode of Modern Family.
I don't know any names from this show.
At the risk of, I mean, I'm pretty sure people know who this is, but can I just say that gay couple?
No, you cannot.
Okay. I know, all respect. That's all I know.
Philline.
I've never watched it.
Mitchell. Cameron? Is that...
Hey,
you go.
nail gun.
That's a crazy pull.
Mitch and Cam.
Cam.
All right. I'm breaking the window! That clip made me watch, but I was like, nope, I gotta watch this show now. I gotta start it. All right, Philline, over to you.
Let's try In the Neck of Time 200.
What was Tommy Pickles' item of choice that he used to help the babies escape their playpen in the Rugrats? Eric.
Was it a toy screwdriver?
Hey.
Oh. All right, Eric. Back to you. Kory, we gotta get you on
Yeah.
the board, man.
I know.
I feel pretty confident here. In the Neck of Time for 1,000.
So confident.
This cautious chimpanzee is always trying to keep Eliza out of trouble during her
Oh my
wild
God.
adventures.
Yeah, I haven't seen this since it was current. I don't remember anyone's name. I remember the dad's name.
Nigel Thornberry.
Nigel. Yeah, smashing.
Top tier character.
Philline.
Darwin.
That would check out. Yeah.
Wow.
God, that's so easy.
Darwin. All right, Philline, back to you.
Stage door for 1,000.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Crazy. This actor originally played Usnavi in The Heights before Lynn, and eventually also played Alexander Hamilton. It's almost like this is a $1,000 question.
Yeah, no.
Anthony Ramos. That's not my answer.
I almost buzzed. I was like, I know this one. No, I don't.
Jordan Fisher.
I'm just going to skip the answer if you guys are good.
No, we want to know.
No.
All right, Javier Munoz.
Oh, I saw that answer on your computer.
Yeah, when Philline came over, I was like, don't look at the computer. Because I was like Googling his name.
That's crazy.
Philline, still your board.
Stage door 200.
Words fail to describe the Tony Award winner for Best Musical in 2017. Eric.
Dear Evan Hansen. Okay. Yeah, had you not started that off with words fail, I would have been so screwed. I don't know about anybody else, but thank you.
All right, Eric, still your board.
All right. Let's give Kory a shot here. Pop culture mystery bag for 200.
In The Last of Us,
no.
this militia group opposes the authoritarian military regime and seeks to use Ellie to develop a cure for the cordyceps infection. Philline.
Fireflies.
I could not think of the bug. I could not think. I was like, it's a bug. A locust? I don't know.
The locust?
That's not right.
The look.
The locusts which famously decimate things in the Bible.
The noble phoenix.
The noble phoenix.
Oh, God. Philline.
Pop culture mystery bag 400.
In 2000, NSYNC set a record by selling over 1 million copies of this album in a single day. Kory.
I'm going to say it's the self-titled album In Sync.
No.
Damn. I might be too early.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
God, my time frame is so off for them.
Eric or Philline?
2000. Why am I...
What are the points currently?
You
What
have
is that album?
3,000.
Don't ask.
Eric has 2,200. Kory has negative 400.
And what is it? Is this a 400?
This is a $400 question. You guys a couple more seconds.
I am blanking.
Eric?
They're puppets. Oh,
They're-
no strings attached.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Dang it, that was going to be my
I could not get it. I was like, I know they're in a box. And they're on strings.
They're in a box.
Which
He's
is
got his dick in a box.
kind of crazy.
All right, Eric.
All right. Pop culture mystery bag. Let's go to the next one. 600.
In the Suicide Squad 2021, Bloodsport's fear of this creature becomes a significant challenge during the mission. Eric.
I'm sorry. I'm going for the win here. Rats. I'm going for blood.
All right, Eric.
Yeah, you know.
You know it, baby.
100. Okay. These true Hollywood stories featuring unforgettable sketches about Rick James and Prince were told from the perspective of which comedian? Kory.
Dave Chappelle.
No.
What? Oh, no!
Oh, no.
I told you I have trouble paying attention to stuff. Listen, you proved me wrong, okay?
No.
Philline or Eric, do you have an answer?
I also was going to say Dave Chappelle, so I
Oh,
also
man.
would've
Welcome.
messed up.
Philline? No? Okay. Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's right.
That's what
All
he
right.
said.
Who was also in there? Yeah.
Eric, still your board.
All right, let's go in the nick of time, 400.
What? Oh, 400. I thought you said
Four-
400. I was like, what?
I genuinely was like,
not
did
even
I
trying.
say something wrong? I also thought I said a slur just then on accident. Because you guys, the way you guys all reacted was so dramatic.
Oh, God.
What?
What'd you say?
Excuse me?
Kel from Keenan and Kel absolutely loves what? Eric.
Orange soda?
Dang
Yeah, it's literally had to click that.
Eric, back to you.
Yeah, keep it going. 600.
Sam from Rocket Power was given this nickname because he was a new skater / the new kid. No Rocket Power fans?
No. I mean, like, not... Who the fuck is this? I've never seen this character before. I'm pretty sure I saw the show. That's not a real character.
It definitely is. It's a main character.
Is he like...
He's a
like
main character.
He's a main
a
character.
main character?
Yes.
That can't be
Squid.
true. Oh,
Yeah.
Squid, yeah. Now, see, he looks totally different there.
Yeah, well, he has his shirt off, and they're on the beach. So, yes, he looks a little bit different here.
And doesn't have a helmet on.
Okay, well. Yeah, let's go for 800.
All right. Before joining Saturday Night Live, Kenan Thompson honed his sketch comedy skills on this Nickelodeon show, a launching pad for many young comedians. Eric.
All that.
Look at those faces. All right, Eric.
Gotta sing the anthem.
Yeah.
I love that for you guys. All right, yeah, no, stage door 400.
This jukebox musical features hits from artists like Katy Perry and Britney Spears, debuted in the West End before making its Broadway premiere in 2022. Philline.
And Juliet. Or, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. I should have done an entire Rachel Zegler category for
Stop.
you, Philline. Back to you.
600.
Prior to Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda lent his talents to this 2012 Broadway musical adaptation of a film centered on competitive cheerleading. Eric.
Bring It On?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nice.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yep. Bring it on. All right, Eric. 800 stage door. Kory, I'll give you $400 extra if you get this question right.
Come on. Will that get into zero?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
I have a
give him
firm
five.
grasp
He's
on
got to get
third
100.
right now.
He's got to go positive so he can play Final
That's true.
Jeopardy.
That's
All right,
true.
Philline, wait like Scout's honor. 5-second delay.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't even
Got it.
remember what this question is. Oh, never mind. This musical, set in the town of Gander, Newfoundland, recounts the true story of how a small community welcomed thousands of stranded
God.
passengers after the events of 9/11.
This is
right.
impossible.
Okay, Philline, it's free game now. It's free game.
Eric,
Come From Away.
it's come from away.
I haven't heard of like most of these. Like you're just saying words. Come From Away and Juliet.
Squid.
Evan.
What the hell?
What-
And all that.
well, like all the musical stuff is.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
Rocket Power I
here's the
just
thing.
didn't watch.
Huh?
You made this like earlier in the day too, so again, I'm pretty sure there was
definitely
no
did.
adjustment for Kory here. That's a
No, I definitely did. Well, Kory, here's what I'll tell you: is that Eric always bets the house. So I'm going to give you $200 to bet
There we go.
here on this.
Yeah, you're in it.
All right, here we go. Final factile, so Final Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah.
For this, text me your answer. So Kory, send me your answer on Discord, Philline, and Eric just text me directly. And let me know when you've... Okay, you guys are wagering. Kory, does it let you wager there on your phone?
Yeah. So
Okay.
okay.
You can either wage $100 or $200.
Wager. Bam.
Okay, cool. All right,
Okay,
everybody
so the
is
wager
in.
there. Yes.
And here is your final Jeopardy question. Which MCU film features Stan Lee's final MCU cameo? You got 20 seconds. Eric is stressing because he knows he just wagered $6,000. All right, I got
Oh my
Philline's
God.
answer.
Oh.
I sent it as a question.
Which technically is the correct way to answer a Jeopardy question. So,
Okay.
I got Eric's answer. Corey, I'm just waiting on yours.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I got it. Okay, all right. And the answer is... Oh, let's display everybody's wager first. Eric bet it all. Philline, 2,400. Avengers Endgame.
Oh, thank God.
Well, it won't let me do it. No, Corey's the only one who got it wrong.
firm grasp on third place today.
What did Corey guess?
Thor 3.
Thor 3.
I couldn't remember which movie came out when they were doing the hair cutting part. That's all I could think of.
I literally
Thor,
was like, I
yeah,
think
Ragnarok.
they had to have made it
Ragnarok.
by Endgame. They
Yeah.
had to have done
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
But I couldn't remember. I literally cannot tell you what that cameo is.
I was
don't
just
remember.
trying to remember when
It's,
he died.
I think
Yeah.
him in the car.
It was him in the car when he drives by, when they're going back to
Iron
get
Man?
the pin particles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. All right, Eric. Well, you took the final Jeopardy of the year. Congratulations. And
I want a record. I want to know the record next time.
I do. Well, yeah,
We're gonna
because
keep count.
we threw around the idea of like all the Jeopardy winners coming back for for a tournament. So if I'm gonna put that together, we'll
Jeopardy
see.
Battle Royale.
But this was great again for our last What Did I Miss of the Year. Thank you both, especially of course, for both of y'all for putting aside the time. Corey joining last minute, Philline buying $2,000 worth of new equipment to be here today. Thank you so much.
I'll drop my my GoFundMe and my Venmo. Please help me. I will
Please.
never financial recovery.
2K to almost be here. To almost not be
and
here.
almost not even not between the internet, the computer, and everything else. Almost wasn't here. Philline, do you want to plug anything or let anybody know anything specific heading into the new year? You'll be the last thing. You guys will be some of the last voices you guys hear on What Did I Miss 2024.
You don't have to set any expectations for 2025. You don't have to set any New Year's resolutions. That's totally okay. Even if you just wake up for the next day, that's great to hear.
Yep, time is not real. None of this matters. Corey, what about you? Please let everybody know where you're going to be in 2025 and what you're up to.
Yeah, so 2025 definitely going to be at Brick Matsuri, which is 2 weeks.
Brick City Anime
Bold.
Festival.
Brick City
both-
Anime Festival. Yeah, they're
Bold
okay.
City.
Brick and Bold, the Brick and Bold mats. Yeah, so in 2 weeks, it's the one in Ocala, whichever one happens to be on the horse farm. That's the one that we'll be at. Yeah, if you wanna find any of my stuff, check out The World Is My Burrito, Twinbee podcast on any platform. Yeah, time is just a construct of the mind. It's a way that it's a coping mechanism that we use to get through life, because if we didn't have like a strict schedule, we would all just go fucking crazy. So everything's meaningless. Yeah.
Except for Jordan and I's podcast, the Final Girls podcast.
Nope,
So
there's already a
everybody
Final
go-
Girl podcast, so I
everybody
keep
go
telling
listen
them
to
they
that,
have to come up with a different
2025.
name.
Thank you.
There's already a Final Girl podcast. You have to come up with a different name. It's got hundreds of episodes too, because we looked into this together. But Eric, another year's, well, the first full year's worth of What Did I Miss is a whole lot of fun. And excited to continue this series on into 2025. So once again, if this is one of the first episodes you listen to for the Way Forward podcast, if you like some more maybe structured content, but also just equally as fun, make sure you check the Linktree link in the show notes of this episode. You'll find each and every link and social media page that you'll possibly need. The most important ones to keep up with being Instagram, TikTok, hopefully, our Discord page, Twitch, as well as our YouTube page. You'll find all of our episodes, as well as The World Is My Burrito, over in the show notes of this episode. Give both shows 5 stars wherever you possibly can. Share our content, tag us, let us know that we are that you are listening and that you're enjoying. All of that goes a very, very long way. But if you want to maybe gift yourself the gift of more Wait For It podcasts heading into 2025. Eric will let you know all about that before we head out for the evening.
You know, it is the season of giving, and if you're in a giving mood and you're able, joining our Patreon would be a cool thing to do, where patrons like Kory, who's on this episode, we also have Briar, Stefan, T3 Kato, and Vintage Macaroni, a new patron to the community, supporting us on that platform in exchange for early access, behind the scenes, and much more for the podcast and episodes that are released here on the show. Phil, honestly, this year has been great. A lot of success. I'm surprised that you did not give a very dark message to the audience. We got one from Philline. We got one from Kory. Did you have any messages for 2025 before we wrap this up officially?
It's all over. You don't even just do whatever you want at this point. Shout out to my boy Luigi.
That's crazy. That's a crazy call out. Philline, put the pills away. Philline, put the pills away. All right, guys. Well,
Are we
this was a
comparing
great
pills?
episode.
I'll go get mine.
Don't get any more pills. No more pills. No more pills. All right. Well, every day you live is another day you die. So let's just finish this up. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the December edition of What Did I Miss? Shout out to Philline, to Kory, and my co-host Phil the Filipino. We release new episodes every Wednesday for the podcast, including bonus content on platforms like TikTok and Twitch. All you got to do is wait for it.
So, I heard you're looking for a go-to source for entertainment.
Wait for it.
Gaming?
Wait for it.
Anime?
Plus Ultra!
Mr. Eric Almighty and Phil the Filipino? Yeah, they've got you covered. And all you gotta do is wait for it. This is the Wait For It podcast.